Hi everyone, it's Margie DiPaolo, and this is Choices with Margie, a platform where we discuss our life choices and how they shape our lives. Do these choices affect us in a good way, or maybe not such a great way? What are our challenges and our successes? Do we pivot or stay the course? So let's get together and share those honest conversations. And how do we forge forward and live our best lives? So today, our guest is Dominic Arieno. Dominic is the director of marketing for the Bill Arieno Team. He's a real estate agent with Howard Hanna in the Pittsburgh office. He's also the executive producer for Choices with Margie. And Dominic also has a podcast called New Level Living, which is where he talks about real estate and all the things that surround that. Welcome, Dominic.
Well, thanks for having me, Margie. I'm normally behind the scenes.
I know. Dominic is always laughing at me because I get teary-eyed in most of my podcasts. But I really wanted to talk to Dominic today because he's had a little bit of a journey where he had to decide if he's going to join the Bill Arieno Team because his dad is Bill Arieno. And Bill had a very successful 35 plus year real estate career. And you watched him your whole life and he kind of like had that journey of forging through real estate, all the different markets. And he was in new build business, existing, building those relationships with clients. And then you joined the team. And I think that's a huge decision because, where do you fit in with your dad? And you had a journey too because you got married and moved to New York City. So talk a little bit about that.
All right. Well, yeah, it's been quite the journey. I mean, my dad is definitely, a workhorse. He's definitely always working extremely hard. He's definitely instilled work ethic in me, all that. But I think for most of my life, I was like, I'm going to avoid like the plague working for my dad. I'm going to, I didn't want to go that route because I wanted to make sure I was staying authentic to me. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to explore everything else before landing here. I think there was part of me that always thought maybe I'd end up working with my dad, but I think I wanted to not feel limited by it.
Full disclosure too, I have worked with Bill. I was on the Bill Arieno Team. And I was with Howard Hanna. So, I've been part of the Bill Arieno Team. And so I watched kind of how Dominic, ended up coming back to the team. So,
yep.
But what was your fear?
What was my fear?
Your fear of joining.
Oh, fear. Sorry, I thought you said fair.
Fear, F-E-A-R, fear.
I don't think it was fear per se. I think it was just
hesitation.
I wanted to make sure that I was doing what I wanted to be doing and not just following in Bill's footsteps because it was an easy route, And it's not an easy route, I could tell you, It's definitely not an easy route. But
in the way that you have big shoes to fill, or why is it
not
easy?
I don't even look at it as filling his shoes. Okay. I want to bring my own flavor. I think I had to develop that flavor, right? Okay. I had to go out into the world and see what flavor Dominic was because I think a lot of people just try and emulate their father, and I want to help elevate my father's team, and not just emulate what he's doing.
Right.
I think there's a lot in me that I want to know perfectly who I am first. And then jump in with the Bill Arieno Team because I think it's easy to get lost in that name, It's so impactful. It's so, he has such a
reputation in the market.
Reputation, yeah, absolutely.
A good one.
Yeah, I want to uphold that for sure, but I definitely want to bring a different skill set. I want to bring something different because I don't want to just be my father too,
2.0.
There's already a great Bill Arieno, right?
There you go. The great Bill Arieno.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
So, what made you go to New York City? Because you did a little stint there.
Yeah, so My wife and I have done actually 2 stints in New York City.
Oh.
So in college, we moved to Brooklyn for 6 month period. It was much quicker. But we decided we wanted. She did student teaching there, and I really just wanted to be there, and she just
Yeah.
wanted to be there
Yeah.
too, just to feel like we're not stuck in Rochester. I mean, there's so much happening in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super artsy, as you know. I love musical theater.
Me too.
We've seen many, many shows
Yeah.
while we were in New York. Yeah, and it's so happening. It's
Mm-hmm.
so fun, which is its biggest thing going for it and the worst thing going for it because there's no rest, there's no
Right.
sleep, there's
Right.
no convenience. Everything's inconvenient, but everything's cooler. I always say you could see Elton John on a Tuesday in New York City. That's the appeal,
Yeah.
And I'm glad we did it. It was difficult. It's we're still we're just getting back and getting in the swing of things. It's been 6 months and we're still like uh, figuring things out, but it's been really good. I think I have a new appreciation for Rochester for sure. Coming back, I think I had to leave to have any appreciation. I mean, it's so livable here. You could drive places.
Right.
We have the Finger Lakes so close. We have Buffalo, Syracuse. I mean, we really have a lot going for us.
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
Yeah.
If you want a big city, I mean,
No, I
3
grew
hours.
up in Buffalo, and we'd go up to Toronto like it would be like from us in Pittsford or Rochester. It's a beautiful city, but I lived down south for 8 years, and I think you need to live somewhere else to appreciate the beauty of this city.
For sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you lived in the South.
8 years.
Wow.
Y'all. Yeah, bless your heart, y'all.
What was the theater like there? Not the same?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
Oh no, I did do theater. I was in the Atlanta. I did a couple. I did.
Oh, you were near Atlanta.
I was in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And Greenville, South Carolina, where I did do theater there too. You find your tribe.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. No, I was thinking.
No, Atlanta. I did a repertory company in Atlanta. I did Fiddler on the Roof, and I did all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
But it is different, but then you also realize politics a little bit better too.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at a map and they're talking about the different politics, you're like, okay. I get it.
You understand that.
You understand then living within a 5-mile radius of your childhood home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I've been very appreciative coming back and just exploring all that Rochester has to offer. I mean, I really don't think I even saw Rochester for its true what it is before, Like, for example, even restaurants. We'd go to the same old restaurants all the time and we'd get what we knew was good. Now we're bringing that same curiosity we had in New York City, that same excitement to Rochester. And there's so much going for it. So it was good to leave and come back and figure out who I am. I think these past 4 or 5 years have been just figuring out who I am. I didn't want to jump on the team with my dad because I don't know who I am and what I bring to it. I would have just been Bill Jr., I know very well who I am now because I've been through the ringer, time and time again, figuring it out and doing different things and all that. Different jobs. I've had more jobs, good jobs and explore different career paths and all that. But I feel like every good job I got, I would be just like, there's something wrong. This is not me. This doesn't feel authentic. Yeah, I think there's always been a stress to be impressive or to be do well in my career, to carve out my own niche, all that. And I think with that, it always brought this inauthenticity about me.
Well, I think you're similar to me in that I always feel like my gut never, ever has lied to me. Ever.
Yeah.
Be it a job, be it a relationship. My gut will tell me exactly what I need to do. So, when you're in New York City, you're enjoying it, but you're thinking, is this exactly where I need to be?
Right.
So now, where do you see yourself, now that you figured out who you are, where do you see yourself on the Bill Arieno team? And you said you want to bring your own flavor. What does that flavor mean?
So I get itchy if I can't be creative.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I get itchy.
Hence the
Um,
Choices with Margie podcast.
exactly right. No, I would go further than that. I get like just unfulfilled. I get, I need to be creative. So I want to be an incredible, incredible real estate agent, but I want to bring my creative flair to it too. Hence New Level Living, hence Choices with Margie, hence all the different things we're doing, uh, and why I'm the director of marketing.
Right.
I take that hat seriously, very
Mm-hmm.
seriously. I think there's a lot of people who do very well in real estate who aren't necessarily investing in the marketing piece of it.
Right.
I
They're doing
think there's
like word of
unexplored
mouth.
opportunities for that.
Right.
So I want to venture down those paths. Never being not cognizant of the fact that I need to be the best real estate agent also. We could have the marketing and the creativity, but without the backbone behind it, or the foundation, that I'm cheapening the Bill Arieno team by being there. If I was just marketing, I think I'm cheapening the team.
Right.
I also want to be the best real estate agent I can be.
I know when I was with Howard Hanna, my key to success was my relationships with the clients.
Absolutely.
I literally valued my clients, but I know that they valued me, not just for my knowledge, but for my honesty. And I think that's why you're going to be successful. You can talk to people and be honest with them, and that's huge.
Yeah. And I genuinely care about people.
Exactly.
I've been in living situations that I'm not comfortable in, and it's hell because you can't go home and work is hard, right? I mean, work is hard no matter what industry you're in, right? Except for those people who have I found my ultimate whatever. But for me, I'm an introvert, right? I need to go home and recharge. If you don't have a home where you could go home and recharge, it's kind of miserable. It's you're missing such a core piece of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I really take that serious when I'm looking with people or trying to find a home for them,
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to be comfortable in your home, that's a huge part of your life. You're there more than you're anywhere else,
Right.
So it's more than just, oh, let's flip a deal. Let's
more
make
than just
the
an
most
address.
money. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
So.
I get you, and so the marketing is a big part of it, and then your relationship with. So as far as the team, I know Danielle, your sister, is part of the team too.
Yeah.
And you have a relationship with her too, a working relationship,
Yeah.
not just a sisterly brotherly.
Yeah, no, it's funny because we have such an interesting dynamic because my father is my father, and he's like my manager, my boss, right? And my sister's my sister, but she's also my supervisor when it comes to the new home stuff I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it works very well actually. Me and Janelle have never been. There's never been sibling rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been just mutual respect,
Mm-hmm.
and we make each other laugh.
Two different people. I mean.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And I love Danielle. I love her. She knows I'm getting. But you guys are two different personalities. It's so funny. I mean, well, I'm one of 12 kids. We all have different personalities.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to say, "Oh, you guys are just alike." We are so different, and I think that's where your parents let you be you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, my parents were huge on the independence, to a fault sometimes. No, the funny story my dad tells is FAFSA. We had no clue what we were doing. He was like, figure it out. You have the tax records. You know where my cabinet is. And we just, Google searched, went crazy filling out these FAFSAs. And then the next year he was like, okay, I'll help you. And he was like, I had you guys do this by yourself last year. How did you do that? So sometimes I think we could have used a little nudging, a little guidance, but I think he really made us independent, and that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So for all those FAFSA times, those are not a big deal because there were so many times where there's kids, no fault of their own, are so reliant, so needy.
Yeah.
And we are not that.
Yeah.
I've never turned to my dad for money for anything.
Yeah.
I won't take it, because that's just how he raised me,
No, and that's huge to let your kids have their own personality and learn.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, we learned the hard way. I mean, there was theater trips, where if I didn't save my money, I wasn't going. You know, one year I didn't save, and it's like, well, you know, well,
Guess
you
you're not
learn the
seeing
hard
Cats
way.
for the 5th time.
Yes.
My least favorite show.
I love Cats.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, that'll be another podcast. We'll have to talk about Cats.
No. I did see one great production of Cats, and believe it or not, it was at Rush Henrietta High School.
Really?
I was a judge for Rush's
RBTL? Yeah.
and I was like, oh God, this is going to be so awful. And I was like, oh my God, it was amazing.
Cats. It's so quirky.
It's
Just like Cats.
Oh, shut up. So anyways, so let's just talk a little bit about where you see yourself in the future with the team, you know, besides the marketing, and where you, I mean, like, you're going to want to stay with the team, or maybe how much of the producing of podcasts is going to be your total?
I think I definitely want to stay with the team.
Not to put you on the spot.
No, absolutely.
Because I know you're so good at this.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, what if somebody reaches out and says, "Hey, can you produce my podcast?"
Yeah, I don't know. I like to go with the flow. I like to see, you know, me and my father have the funniest, you know, business relationship. Not, you know, it's not personal at all business. We always feel that way. So, you know, I've told him, you know, if there's another builder that wants to pay me more and thinks, you know, I could do all these things, you know, I'm gonna, you know, maybe show you their offer and see if you could counter offer. But if not, that's the route I'm going. And he said the same
Look
thing.
out, Bill.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
well, and he says, you know, if you ain't pulling your weight, you know, we're gonna find someone else too, just like that. But that's our business side. We don't. There's no personal anything to that.
Mm-hmm.
We are very when we are talking business. I mean, we're dealing with people who are looking for houses.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, you know, if you're looking for a $500,000 house, you deserve that level of
Mm-hmm.
business
Mm-hmm.
respect. You know, you
Right.
deserve that. That agency, you know, you deserve that. So we are very serious. When it's business talk, it's business talk. And at home, you know, we work very hard and we play very hard. That's
I
Bill's
know you do,
mantra.
because I've seen the videos of you guys watching the Buffalo Bills.
Oh
Where I'm
gosh.
like, oh my God, you guys
Yeah.
are out of your minds.
There's a picture where I'm like in the air.
I saw that.
Yes.
Well,
Bill's like,
I'm the same way, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know if I can watch them this year after the last 2 seasons. I'm like,
oh, we'll see. Who knows? I don't know.
Oh God.
No. But no, it works very well. And if it didn't work one day, then we'd reconsider. We're flexible. We're those stereotypical business boys. No, I'm kidding. No, he's Tony Robbins. I'm Brene Brown. So
I love Brene Brown.
I love Brene Brown. I listen to her
Me too.
podcast like every day. I've
Me
read
too.
all of her books.
Me too.
So
You
if
and
you
I
don't
are
know
very
Brene
similar.
Brown, yeah,
Brene Brown, love
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
Very she makes you think differently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think too, for me, the greatest thing coming home from New York, not only am I happy with what's going on with the Bill Arieno team with work, but I'm finding that enjoyment just in life after work, you
In
know,
Liz.
in Liz and my wife,
Supporting
because
you.
yeah, and I'm supporting her in the way it should be, and just finding that work-life balance, and at 5 o'clock I shut it down, you know. Yes, if you have to text me, if you have an emergency, anything like that, I'll be there for you. There's that business side of me too.
Because I know I email you at all kinds of hours.
Oh,
and text
yeah,
you. I'm like,
absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm not in business mode. I am in life mode. I'm trying to get enjoyment out of life. And I think it was different. When I didn't have a satisfying job, I was just like, it creeps into other aspects. Like, now that I'm satisfied creatively, business-wise, all that, it's really been a joy to experience life and trusting my instincts and all
As
that.
a real estate agent, it's huge that you can be able to stop work and enjoy life.
Yeah.
I was not able to do that. That was why I don't know how to shut down. And if you can do that, and I think your dad's really good at that too, because he enjoys, boating and doing all the things that he does. I just didn't know how to do that.
It's hard. I mean, it took me getting completely burnt out, getting to low places to learn that. In my first few jobs, jobs where you really can't put down your phone.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And now you hear people, people are texting you at 2 a.m. Can I see this property? And I didn't know how to shut down.
Yeah. No, I've learned that balance and where to set boundaries and what is okay in business and what's not. And you really have to set clear boundaries for yourself to be able to set clear boundaries for others. but also understand that you have that agency relationship where you owe them a certain. It's a fine balance, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I think I'm doing it well, but who knows in the future.
So I wanted to talk a little bit just to segue into the New Level Living podcast. What is your kind of goal there?
Just to talk to people who are out there doing it, and you know, provide that wealth of information. You know, if you're in a meeting and you're really connecting with 10 people, that's awesome. But if you're able to broadcast it to more people,
Mm-hmm.
and more people can get that insight and that experience and share knowledge, you know.
So it's agents, and it's just people who support the agents, like
No,
maybe
anyone in
mortgage
real
people?
estate. Anyone. Yeah, mortgage people. We've had
Design.
a financial advisor, design. It's meant to be fun too, you know. I want people
who
to
stage and those
Oh
kind of
yeah,
things.
yeah. We talked about maybe Amy Freeling coming on. We've got people in Florida who are, you know, who've coached real estate agents all over. We've got a lot of different people we're gonna have on and or have had on, and so it's gonna be a lot of just interesting, you know, picking their brains. All business. It's not gonna be as, you know,
Technical.
personal, but I do get personal too because I'm someone who's like you know, if I'm sitting down talking with somebody, we'll end up talking about their, you know, deepest insecurities because it's Brene Brown, our vulnerabilities, right?
Tell me what makes you sad.
Right, yeah. What keeps you up at night?
What are you thinking about at 2 a.m?
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's everyone,
me.
right?
Oh,
Waking up from 2 to 4. That's
me
a...
too.
Okay,
I'm like,
good.
oh god, here I go.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, what am I thinking of?
Oh, I've gotten to the point where I'll just play video games. I'm like, it's 2:00. I'm not falling asleep till 4. I'm just gonna play video games.
Oh god. Well, anyways, I'm just thrilled that you're part of the team, and I mean, I'm thrilled that you welcomed me in with Choices with Margie. I mean, it kind of like was organic because
Welcome to you, and you were part of the team before me.
I know, but
you're a
I
veteran.
mean, but I called Bill because I was like, I want to do a podcast because people always like, you need a podcast, and then I talked to Dominic, and he's like, well, why don't I just produce it? And I'm like, yay! So that's how that came about, which was a blessing. Again, talk about, you know, things working in a spiritual, cosmic, organic way.
Yeah.
So
God's plan.
yeah, God's plan. But
that's Drake, but also I believe in
that. Well, thank you for coming in today and talking to me, and I'm thrilled that we're working together because we get along so well, and you get me and I get you, and I'm just thrilled that Dominic is back on the Bill Arieno team for Bill and for the whole team, and then also that I get to have him as an executive producer on the podcast. So thank you
so much for having me. It's been incredible, and I hope all our audio is good and all that because I wasn't behind the camera, so if it's messed up, it's not our fault.
Thanks everybody. Have a great day, and then come back and join us for Choices with Margie podcast and New Level Living podcast too.